Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I went from nothing to a knife in just 3 days in 2020 and how you can do the same. This strategy revolves around match betting, but not just your typical match betting. We're going to be betting in only a handful of scenarios so that we can maximize our profits while maintaining a positive EV. So in order to successfully pull off this strategy, you're going to need a couple things. First, you're going to want a good sense of the pro scene. It doesn't have to be great, but pretty good is good, and the better it is, the more profit you're going to make. In order to do this, you should start watching pro matches before you're betting or anything, getting a good sense of who's good, who's not, who's good on certain maps, stuff like that. And you can also use HLTV and the statistics they have on there to get a better sense of who can win and who cannot. Now, the other thing you're going to need is a good site to bet on. And you can't just pick any site here. You want to pick a site that's giving you good odds. A site that I highly recommend, that is actually the one I used to complete the challenge, was csgoempire.com. No, I'm not affiliated at all with the site. That being said, if you want to use my referral code and get some free coins that you can start betting with and doing this strategy with, you can use my referral code NATEPLAX to get a free case. So at a high level, the reason we follow this intra-match betting strategy for going from nothing to a knife is because of the odds that we are getting. When the odds are in your favor, in the long run, you're gonna make money. And these three things, aka betting on the second match as opposed to before the match starts, hedging your bets going into map 3, and playing the swings and the close games, that's what's going to give you a chance to have an edge over the house and hence be able to make money. So the crux of this strategy revolves around betting going into map 2 as opposed to betting going into map 1. And the reason for this is because you're going to get much better odds going into map 2 than you would be going into map 1, especially because people are going to overreact after Team A takes the lead by a point over Team B in the best of 3. A perfect example of explaining this is Furia versus Evil Geniuses from Blast Premier Spring 2020. Going into this match, Furia has been running really hot. They've been winning against almost everybody, but Evil Geniuses has been playing really well in their own right. They've been pretty solid against good competition, and head-to-head against Furia, they have dominated. So when I was looking through the matches this was I think on the second day of the challenge, and I saw the 2x odds on Evil Geniuses, and then the veto came in, I knew this was going to be a good match to bet on. Now, why is that? Well, the veto comes Vertigo Inferno Train. And you see, Furia have been really solid on Vertigo. It's really unlikely that EG are going to be able to beat them. But that being said, if EG are going to win, which my prediction was EG to win, it's going to be an Inferno Train reverse sweep. So I don't really care about map 1. In fact, I'm happy with the fact that they lose because I get much better odds. People overreact on Furia, and EG ends up with like 4.3x odds. And I'm not going to convert that into the percentages right now, but if I'm favoring Evil Geniuses to win the whole thing, I'll much rather take them at 4.3 than at 2, when I'm pretty confident if they win the match, it's not going to be on Vertigo. So you've put your bet down going into map 2, but we're not just going to be counting on that team to pull off the reverse sweep. No, we're going to basically turn our bet into a single map bet. So we're going to turn our bet that says the reverse sweep is going to happen to a bet that basically just says they're going to win map 2. Now how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to cover our bet in the event that they do win map 2. So let's say we have a 50-50 game going in to map 1, and Team A beats Team B on map 1. Well, now you could get, depending on the site, something between 3 and 4, like high 3s, low 4s for your odds for Team B to win the match. Okay, so we'll bet on them there. And now, let's say they win map 2. Well, the odds are going to go right back to what they were before the match started, more or less. And if it's a 50-50 game, then that means it's going to be about even. So you're going to be able to get somewhere right under a 2x odds for your cover bet. So now you can bet on the other team, the same amount that you originally bet on Team B. So what's your scenario looking like now? Well, if Team B win the third map, then you're looking at, if you bet $1 as your first bet on Team B, and then $1 to cover on Team A, you're looking at $2 profit for your $2 put in. But if Team A win the third map, you're not losing really anything. So it pretty much becomes a free bet. Now, granted, no bet is free. The cost of this is incurred on your first map 2 bet, because if they were to lose map 2 and get 2-0'd, then you're out whatever you first bet. That's why you want to have some intuition that gives you a reason why you think there's more than a 50% chance Team B is going to be able to tie the series up in map 2. You don't just want to be blindly betting, you want to have a reason. A perfect example of this is Navi versus Vitality, again from Blast Premier Spring. So in this match, Navi was the favorite initially going in, and they defeated Vitality on Vitality's own pick of Inferno in map 1. However, going into Overpass, Navi is on the T side to start, and for me, I've always thought this recent lineup of Navi is a very roller coaster lineup, and what I mean by that is that when things are good, they're great, but when things are bad, they're horrible. And their T sides have not been good, so if they start really losing, they could let it spiral out of control and Vitality could secure the map pretty quickly. And this ends up being exactly what happens. Vitality gets a 12-3 half on CT's side. But what does this mean for me? That means going into the map, that fact that they're starting on the CT side means that there's a good chance that I'm going to get over a 50% chance of Vitality winning map 2. I was able to make sure of this because I was actually able to wait until it was 5-0 in favor of Vitality to put my bet down for 4x odds on Vitality. So we've covered the first two types of bets for this idea, those being the initial bets going into map 2 and the cover bets going into map 3. But what about the third type? And these I like to call the moneymaker bets. Now, why are these the moneymaker bets? Well, while the others are securing you your positive EV play, these are your bets that are more low risk, high reward. And these occur if it's a close game in map 3. So let's say it's gone to map 3 and the game is pretty much tied or maybe within 1 or 2 rounds in around 20 maybe. So it could be 9-11, it could be 10-all, maybe 11-11, something around there. Well, oftentimes you'll find, or at least what I found, is that on certain sites, people will be rushing to get the value because they think a team isn't going to win. So let's say Team A is beating Team B currently 11-9. Well, people are like, oh, Team A has won. They might not even be watching the match. They're saying, hey, they're up 2 right now. They're probably going to win. I want to get value while I still can. Suddenly, tons of people rush in, placing bets on Team A, and that blows up the odds. Team B now gets a ridiculously low percent chance of winning, according to the books. But you know, if you know Counter-Strike, you know that their chance is not right. Like, if their CT side economy is almost broken, even if they have a 2-round lead going into a gun round, they could be forced to double save, it could easily flip really quickly. You want to pounce on those odds, and you want to capitalize on the opportunity to just play the odds and make some profit, even if sometimes you're going to result in a negative EV play. Overall, it's worth it. So that's it. That's how I went from nothing to a knife in 2020. And I did it without doing all the flashy stuff that is involved with just playing roulette, and I didn't put nearly as much time as you would use in the trading method or the free sites for skins methods. Granted, as there is with all betting, there's always risk to this. You could lose everything. You want to make sure, especially, that your first couple bets are the ones you have the most confidence in, because that's what's going to get you over the hump. Also, disclaimer, please don't be betting if you're under 18. Let's keep everything legal here, and just be safe and bet at your own risk. Also guys, since this is my first video on this channel, if you like this video, please consider giving me a like and subscribing, which lets me know that you want to see more of this type of content. Thanks guys, hope you have a great day, and see you on the next one.